Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Pelican, built tough for all situations. Go to pelican.com. Yak Gadget, for all your fine kayak fishing accessory needs. Go to yakgadget.com. Eastport Marina, on the beautiful shores of Dale Hollow Lake, for all your lodging, kayaking, and fishing needs. Go to eastport.info. Now let's get this show started.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the MindSet Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Slifka. Today we got a great episode with Daniel Perry. But before we get started with that, I wanted to inform everybody that we still have the fantasy kayak fishing going on. Dale Hollow has passed. Unfortunately, I was not able to make it, but things happen, personal things happen. But make sure everybody gets signed up for the fantasy fishing on the kayak side on the Paddle and Fin Network. Let's bring in Dan here. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
No problem. All right, Dan. So we got
first. I had sinus surgery like a week and a half. Well,
yeah,
a week and a half ago. So if I'm sniffling and sound stopped up and a little high pitched, that's what's going on. So.
Oh, that's no problem, man. Yeah. There's plenty of episodes that you listen back where I'm just sniffling all the time.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm finally this weekend. I'm gonna go fishing, but it's any kind of surgery sucks. So
yeah, but we can't escape the weather out here. It was snowing.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, y'all crazy, man. I'd be going. Like, I love to visit the North, and I got family from Chicago and all up. I'm like, my dad grew up most of his life in Minnesota as a kid, and up till he was 16. And bro, I could not, I couldn't handle that life, shoveling snow. And like, I'm not to get into a story, but I went TDY whenever I was in the Air Force up to Maine, and it snowed in June. And I was like, I am never going to live in the North. Y'all are crazy.
Yeah, man. I'm getting a little bit of echo from my voice, Dan.
No, I don't hear it. Sounds good to me.
All right, good.
But everybody from the North just turned off. F this guy. He hates the North.
No.
I love the North. It's just, hey, man, I couldn't do it. I actually want to move to Florida. From Alabama, if I could move my wife down there, I'd be going tomorrow because I work from home. It's easy for me.
Yeah, same here.
she won't do it. Too much family and all that around here.
Yeah. So we got the conversation started where you said you were liking the podcast and you wanted to join. I normally always start our guest off first with, what does the mindset mean to you when it comes to fishing?
I think, I came from saltwater fish college from Montebello, #1 right now. Go Falcons. They've been #1 like the last 2 years. But I went back and fished college with the GI Bill out of a boat. And I've been serious tournament bass fishing for 12 years now. Before that was saltwater and military. And kind of it's evolved. My mindset keeps evolving. And the last year, and I've seen the most success I've ever had out of a kayak in the last year. Like this year, I fished 3 tournaments. I won 2 of them. And not that, it's knock on wood. That's a great streak. That's not going to continue, especially whenever the national stuff starts rolling out here this year. It's evolving. It's constantly evolving. And right now I'm at that place where you hear people say, like Ike and Ellie here, fish the moment. And that's kind of what I've done. One tournament, it kind of bit me. I just chose a place that I had some history, but I think my mind's, I wasn't totally there in that one, but I've kind of gotten to the point where it really doesn't matter to me where I fish on a lake. Like, I'm just going to go out, fish exactly what's going on. If I can get in that mindset of, I am fishing this spot right now, what's the best bait? And whenever it doesn't work, I move on. Like, I'm ghost. I am gone. I'm not sitting on a spot. If something isn't working out in 15 minutes at most, I am out. Like even if there's fish there, they're not biting. It doesn't matter. Keep going.
Yeah.
Like if conditions change, I might try to hit it later in the day, or if I'm coming back to that ramp or whatever it is, and that plays. But really, it's just I've kind of almost halved my tackle this year. I really sized down everything I have. Got my kayak lighter. I'm faster. I'm more efficient, and I'm fishing absolutely in the moment. And I think whenever you have that mindset of fishing the moment and being as efficient as possible, that's where I found that's whenever I'm most successful. Whenever I'm kind of tuned in, and I'm not just zoned out, just casting and not thinking. But whenever I've got my brain switched on and I'm actually thinking about what's happening, I'm trying to figure them out. Like if I think if I lose at all any confidence, or if I lose any kind of, if I'm just, my brain turns off and I'm just fishing, thinking about life, or, if I zone out, like I try to focus on exactly what I'm doing. I try to visualize a fish biting, trying to just stay tuned in to exactly what I'm doing. And the more I can do that, the more cast, the more efficient, the more thinking I can do, the better I do. That equals success for me. So that's my mindset. And that's hard to do. I mean, it's hard to stay in that zone, and it's hard. And I'm sure some people watch Randy Blockett. Like he said that before, like visualizing. And I mean, those things are really key components to being successful, at least for me. I think for almost every angler, it's very seldom like I got a great spot and I'm going to sit on it and I'm just going to sit here all day and catch fish. And that happens, but not very often.
Yeah, I agree with that. What was I gonna say? Is you did win those 2 tournaments earlier? No, not that earlier. But and then you also placed 5th in one of them.
Yeah, well, that was.
So
I mean, it wasn't my fault, but somebody.
yeah,
The day it was really like a 2-for tournament.
Yeah.
Saturday was Tennessee Valley Kayak Anglers on Gunnersville, and Sunday was Rattle Trap. The Rattle Trap. You had to throw a Bill Lewis, one of their baits. I fished the same spot, and I knew day one I kind of eased up a little, and I was still lucky enough to win. But I kind of laid off of them a little because I was worried about. It was almost like day 2, so I was kind of protecting my fish. And day 2, I get out there and somebody is like literally 100 yards in front of me, and we're pedaling at the same time, going to the same spot. And it's a far away, very difficult to reach. Boats can't. You have to have like a mud boat to get there. Very difficult spot to access. And it's special for a couple of months a year, and then it turns off. It's just not, or it becomes almost inaccessible. Like it would take so much effort to get there. It wouldn't be worth the fish that are there. And split fish day 2, he ended up doing well, but I didn't. He got like a spot in front of me, so he got a check. I didn't. So we had split fish, and that's the reason I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Cox won that one, my buddy, and he blew it away. So I would not have won day 2. He really got on him, but second place was definitely possible if I would have had it to myself. So it could have been first this year, but it was, yeah.
It's still a great start, though.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I got to check day 1, man. I'm happy. Day 2 was a lot more money though, so that sucked.
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing we could do about that. That's why it's fishing.
Yeah,
and it's a great start in a sport where you lose a lot more than you win.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But when you're practicing for tournaments, or when you're going through map studies or anything, what do you do to kind of prepare? So that way, when come tournament day, you know what to do, and you're not kind of, you're not, what's the word I'm looking for? Like freaking out on tournament day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just, man, I'm one of those people. I'm so ate up with it. I'm very fortunate. I work from home. I work on a computer. It's gain a bunch of weight. You're sitting, sitting behind a dang computer all day. I still haven't figured that one out. Or haven't overcome, to get back to, in shape. But man, I'm just one of those guys who's totally, completely obsessed, completely ate up with fishing. Like dude, I watch baseball, I watch the Sox, and I watch the Saints because we used to live in New Orleans too, and we have the AA team here, the White Sox AA team here. If you see my hat, that's why I've said it before. Nobody knows why is this guy in the South a Sox fan. Well, that's why, and family from Chicago, like I said. But dude, I live it, man. I would rather watch fishing. I'll watch Bassmaster. I'll watch every YouTube video. I absolutely research stuff down to the most minute detail of everything. I've got the way my mind is. I have to have something to focus on, or I kind of spin out of control. I need, I work, I have family. Those things are great, but at the same time, I need a second thing to put my mind on. I have to be researching. I have to feel like I'm becoming better at something. I have to feel like I'm, it's like a deep rooted
Yeah.
obsession of the kind of personality I have, and I just apply that to fishing. I love
you can't shut it off, pretty much. You can't shut
No.
your mind off
Yeah,
and just kind of relax.
if I'm not
Yeah.
studying if I'm not studying fishing, I'm studying something else. We
Yeah.
went to Disney last month, and I had to obsessive know everything about Disney. I have spreadsheets and Word documents of exactly this Genie Plus strategy of how we're going to hit every rod the whole time there. This is just how I'm wired. So
Yeah.
whether it's details about baits, colors, techniques, seasonal patterns, the lake itself, just familiarizing myself with every single inch of that lake possible. Man, I am 24/7 fishing, man. I don't turn it off. That's why I got on the podcast originally. It's like, well, I'm either sitting at the house thinking about fishing, or I could talk to somebody about fishing and maybe get some, originally it was just because I wanted to get better. Like selfishly, like the reel down, been doing it for years. It took a little break, but I'm back on there now because I just love to talk fishing. I love to talk kayak fishing and just getting that knowledge from people. Man, I have learned so many things from being on that show that I really enjoy it. And it gives the anglers a chance to shine. That's the other great part. But selfishly, I've learned so much listening to these guys over and over. Like I can tell you, like, this, like, who's good at wet bait and stuff like that. Like, I'm number 2 in fantasy right now because I know not only do I help do the fantasy show with Brian, but like I know who should play on what week and stuff like that. So
I know you're high up there. I think I'm 9th, but
there you go.
I've probably dropped since then.
Yeah, you gotta stay on top of it. That's a tough part.
Yeah, well, there's so many tournaments, man. Like there's a tournament every weekend that you could possibly be in.
Yeah.
As far as fantasy points go.
But I'm totally. I mean, dude, I own a bunch of paper maps. That's how hardcore I am. Like I will buy paper maps if it's a national tournament. I promise you, I got a paper map. I promise you, I got the Humminbird Lake Master. I paid the $10 for the Lake Master chart of that lake. I promise you, I've been on every YouTube video, everything the internet I can get from it. Google Earth the ever loving hell out of it of every single time when because you can go back and look at different times. So like I have went around the lake in every single time. I have marked everything possible. No one is doing more research than me. I'll say that. Does it always pay off? Absolutely not. But it's just what I'm going to do.
No,
if I don't do that,
operate.
Yeah, if I don't do that, I feel like I'm leaving. I'm not fully prepared, or I'm leaving something on the table. So everything that can be researched has been researched on my part. I promise.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's how you operate, and that's one of the things. Like your mindset is you have to do that, or you're not going to feel like you have a chance of winning the event. Versus someone else who might start researching a week before the tournament and feel they have a chance to win. We're all kind of wired differently.
And that's whenever I say like fish in the moment, like let's say I'm going to Eufaula, I'm fishing Hobie in a couple of weeks. if whenever I go there, I'm going to know every single inch of the lake because let's say it rains a lot and more mid lake to upriver gets blown out. I need to, and it's totally mud. Then I'm going to go down south and I'm going to know what's down there without looking at a map, saying, it's not like I'm going to know everything down there, but I will have a bunch of waypoints already marked, even if it's area I'm not going to fish. Things that I think are interesting for the seasonal pattern that's going on, so that way I can pivot to at that time. Just
Yeah.
okay. I need to go to the bottom of the lake because it's the only decent water on the lake. So I'll go from north to south and have a game plan already in my head. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's good. One thing that you mentioned was paper maps, and personally, you might not have to do a mindset, but I always ask a couple questions that don't. How does paper maps differ from like a map that you could get off of Navionics or something like that?
Really, a lot of it is structure and road beds. Like you can
Okay.
find some things, that I think just whenever, like let's say the Garmin people go out there and they do because they own Navionics, right? And they go out
Right.
and do the mapping with the guy in the truck. Not in the truck, but they pull that thing behind the sonar deal behind them.
Yeah.
I've seen them on Pickwick do it before. I don't know if they still kind of pull it or whatever, but uh, like they might that year. Let's say the water was too low and they weren't able to get back real shallow. Well, it could just be finding having that creek channel or having a certain drain going back into. Man, I'm really stopped up right now, but uh,
You're
like
good.
going back into a creek and a creek drain or a creek channel that is on an old paper map that isn't on a new one, or maybe there used to be a road bed there where in the paper map they know it's there, but whenever they went over it, it's silted in, so they didn't pick it up on the tail on the radar boat, a sonar boat. But the roadbed's still there. It's always been there, or it could be way off. Like I've seen it where on the graph it'll be, 100 yards off of actually where that roadbed's at. So just saves some time on the water. And you do this for long enough, a lot of times you're going to be going back to the same thing. So it's kind of like to the same lake. So it's kind of like you're building up a library of paper maps. It's also kind of like a time. It didn't seem like it would be this way, but it's kind of like a time capsule of a different time because lakes do change. I mean, not dramatically, but they do
Yeah.
change. There are changes. So yeah. Now they usually. I would say it's like let's say 25% of the time a paper map is actually useful. So they're usually not, but I got the paper map. So yeah, I don't know.
I
It's
mean, well, I heard Ike still uses paper maps too. You know, a lot of those older guys still use the paper maps versus the younger guys coming
what are you
in.
saying? Come on now.
No,
Am I
I'm
opening the
saying
door?
I'm saying the Elite Series guys.
Yeah.
So,
No,
you
it's
know,
I don't know how much I actually get off of it, but it
do
just
you do you feel it's more of the younger generation, like the college guys and the guys that are coming up, that like first year Elite Series guys? Do you feel like they're just more in tune with their electronics versus the guys who kind of have been doing it with paper maps and having to figure out before electronics was even thought of how to do it?
yeah. Well, I mean, if they do, yeah, the people who do it the best are the people who have an open mindset. If you're
Yeah,
closed off to anything, whether it's electronics, paper maps, if there's some part of your game where you're like, oh, I don't really, that's not my deal. I don't really need to learn that. No,
yeah,
you done lost.
yeah,
Like you need to have whether it's techniques or anything. You can't. Yeah, it's not like you have to bring everything with you every time you go out on the water. That's not what I'm saying. Where you need to have all the gear, but you need to be open. You need to be always learning. If you want to be at, you know, if you
mm,
want to be at, not that I'm not saying I am because I'm good. But I'm not a road warrior. I'm not Christine, Cody, Guillermo. All those people at the very top of their game. I got a house and a kid. Like, I'm not out on the road
yeah.
all the time. If I were younger and I could chase it like that, yeah, I feel like I would be up there, you know, at the, I would
at
have,
the time.
I would be very good, but that's just not in the cards for me right now. So, but yeah, I take it as seriously as I can from this level that I can be with 20 days vacation. But yeah, there's nothing I'm not going to do or technique or there's nothing I'm leaving on the table. Like I said before,
Yeah.
I'm giving it hell, man. Every avenue I can, I'm going to learn it and do it and try it or whatever else. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
What else am I going to do? Like
Yeah.
mow the yard? Like what am I supposed to do here? I fish. That's what I'm into. I'm
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same thing here. Like, I try to just give it everything and make it to as many terms as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Just like you do probably, and study like hell.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, all the hard work is where you get the wins at, whether it's a local win or a national win.
Yeah, I'll
It's
say like there's a lot of people who have, they're getting time on the water that I just absolutely can't do as a family man, but nobody has beat me in preparation.
yeah.
I guarantee that.
Yeah.
There ain't no way somebody's spending more time preparing, in any possible way than I am. I'm
Yeah.
not losing on that side of it, I promise.
Yeah. Do you feel on the water, time on the water is more important than preparation, or
Yeah.
kind of? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because especially going from tournament to tournament, I mean, if like all these guys, men and women, they're going from Santee to, they just went to Caddo and now they're going to be going to Eufaula. I don't know if there's another one in between there, but yeah, I mean, they're on, you're talking like lakes that are almost on the same, what, longitude?
Yeah, I think it
I
is.
think it's longitude.
Yeah.
I mean, say if you look at Santee and Caddo and then Eufaula, that's 3 lakes in a row that they're just following the spawn or, somewhere between pre and post between a month and 5 weeks or 4 or
Yeah.
5 weeks. Yeah. So those people are absolutely dialed. So yeah, time on the water is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. You're right. Because I was talking to Drew about this 2 episodes back now.
Yes. Good episode, by the way.
Yeah, he was saying that he more focuses because he's now he has 2 kids.
Yeah. He's
Where
in my seat now.
yeah, where he's spending more time map studies and everything, and he only has about 2 to 2.5 days to actually pre-fish whatever lake they're on.
Yeah.
He was saying kind of like you're saying, where he spends most of his time just preparing for the event and then hoping that his strategies work out.
Well,
I feel
I think it depends on your game too,
yeah.
because I am not the absolute creek guy. I mean, I'm shallow water to deep. I'm versatile. I live in Alabama. You have to be able to do it all, but
Yeah.
you can cut off for. I'm not trying to put words in Drew's mouth here. You can cut off 90% of the lake already with Drew. I mean, so he has.
Yeah.
I mean, really, he's so for him, map study is everything because he's finding those special spots. So I could see in his game that map study being even more, not more important, but yeah, like he has to. That's yeah, you know what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was also saying where like you said with the time on the water, where he said if you're a person who can't really travel much and all you can do is travel for tournaments, find places near your house that kind of replicate those lakes and kind of learn from there. Learn techniques or learn how to get down deep or find fish deeper and stuff like that. He was saying kind of refresh your skills on local lakes instead of waiting to the weekend of the tournament to try to make it happen.
That's great,
That's
great,
you know.
great advice there.
Well,
I mean, yeah, like if you're going to go
yeah.
fish, you follow a grassy, let's say not really moving water unless you're maybe way way upriver, uh, brush piles, things like that. Yeah, then I should be going to a lake and practicing those techniques if if I want to be ready for that event for sure. Or if there's a hole in my game, and I know tournaments coming up where brush piles could play, like they did last year in the Bass event, and also past Bassmaster Elite Series events on Eufaula, because obviously I'm already doing my research.
Yeah.
But if you don't know how to fish brush piles, you best go find a lake by your house and go knock around some brush piles.
Yeah. That's what he was kind of saying. Like, if you could find areas that replicate things, to definitely go figure it out, type of deal. But we're about 25 minutes into this already. It's kind of went by quick. I know you're on your lunch break, so is there anything else that you wanted to add, or any sponsors or anything that you want to plug?
I would just say, if there's a question anybody has for me, on here or on the Reel Down, I'm always happy to help. You're more than welcome to message me. Just if you're new to this, because there's always a lot more people that are new than are, like more tournament level anglers. Just I think the advice I give to everybody who's getting into it is just, learn one technique at a time and just master that technique, and then boom, you got it. You put it on the shelf. That's technique you got. It's like having a bunch of books. You got that one. Move on to the next technique, whatever it is for that time of the year, for what's going on. You don't have to go out there and have everything. I mean, look at Drew. He carries just a few rods, and he's absolutely one of the best anglers to ever sit in a kayak. So, do that.
He was saying he started in 2019 as far as tournament fishing.
Yeah.
He only did like 3 events that year.
Yeah, but I mean, he ran river bassing back in the day,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's not like dude seeing a couple of kayaks,
He's-
and a couple of poles, and he's caught a few fish in his day. So.
Yeah.
But his career, making that career shift, that was very cool. But sponsors, just I got a few. Yak Gadget, they make awesome products. If you need products for your kayak, especially a great crates. Baiano Power batteries, I've had them for years. 0 issues, no issues at all. And it's hard. That's like the hardest thing. You're saying the one battery to another, what makes a difference? Baiano's been it for a long time. Great battery company. Very happy with them. Good people. They do a lot of commercial stuff too. So they don't really pump their
They're lithium batteries.
Yeah, but the people I have are very happy with them. Who else? I got a couple of other people. Summerland Outdoors down in Columbus, Georgia. That's my shop. Especially if you need a rod, if you're looking, they ship anywhere. If you need an Old Town, Hobie, Jackson, they'll ship it to you anywhere in the country. But really, if you're looking for a rod that you can't find on Tackle Warehouse or somewhere else, call or go on Summerland Outdoors, SUMMERLAND, Summerland. If I'm saying it crazy, Summerland Outdoors. They have like all the rods. They start off as just a rod seller. That's it. That's enough, people. And KFL team, follow the Coosa Kingfishers. And
what about X-Zone Lures back there?
Oh yeah, God, I got them behind me. It already, dude. I just posted something yesterday. Yeah, great plastics. If you need plastics, check them out. But
I tried a few last year.
They're good. They're good. And you can feel them whenever you touch them. Like they feel a little bit thicker, kind of like a Yamamoto. Like they don't put any cheap fillers. They don't feel like real light. Like they're really dense, good, no filler plastics.
Yeah.
And Daniel Perry Fishing, I got it down below, but YouTube. Yeah. My page, I put out a lot. I think I feel like I put out some juice on my YouTube page. I don't have many followers, but it takes a long time to do that.
Same here.
Yeah. I've been doing that every week for a couple of months now. So it's starting to, I'm getting more and more people, but it's slow growth. I don't have a GoPro. Like that's my problem. Like I've spent so much money. I pretty much replaced all my rods and reels this year. Spent so much money doing it that my fishing bank account's very low. That I don't have money to have any tournament footage right now, to be honest. Like I paid for the Hobie, I paid for housing. Even with winning some tournaments, it's still, it's tough. I try to stay on a budget. I'm a family guy, so
yeah. Well, I know with me, I do a lot of my stuff off my phone, and then I bought a cheap, not really cheap, but I got a deal on a GoPro Hero 4 that I do a lot of my stuff off of. But hey, it works.
That's exactly what I need to do. Right now
Yeah.
I'm looking at changing kayak. So because I've never had a motor because we've never allowed them in Alabama, but now I'm fishing more stuff that does allow them, and I think next year my trail is going to. So I need to get a new kayak where I can put a motor on. I literally have a brand new kayak I've used twice, but now I'm thinking about getting another kayak just so I can put a motor on it. So that's a whole lot more money. Yeah,
that's how we all think, though.
I love my kayak. I mean, I have a Old Town Big Water. It's a great kayak. I had a Predator last year before that. No problems. Very fast. Yeah. Great boat, but I can't put a motor on there. So gotta have one where I could put a motor on her. So, I don't, autopilots are awesome, but I don't just want a motor kayak. I don't have room for a third because I have a Diablo for creek fishing, and me and the kid go out and we have fun with the Diablo Amigo. That's great. I'm never getting rid of that. And then I have the big water, but I can't just have a third autopilot. I need one that could both motor and pedal. So
yeah.
Guess I'm going to be one of them Hobie people. I've been doing all the research, so it looks like I'm going to be getting a Hobie here for too long.
Is it Outback or a 360?
360, dude. I'm too big for Outback.
Yeah.
I have a big water though, so that's not like a, I'm 250. It's not like I'm super weight, but yeah. The big water is like I mean it's I would say it's stable enough, but I get all the speed, so that's a good part about the big water because nobody's out pedaling me. Big water, you might beat me with a motor, but you're not going to beat me pedaling because I ran cross country in high school and Air Force, ran all that time. I'm pretty hardcore about pedaling. You ain't going to catch me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's quick. So, but I mean, it's like you can't engineer everything into a kayak. If it's fast, it can't carry quite as much or, doesn't paddle. Like mine still paddles really well. And I don't want a kayak that I can't paddle. So,
yeah.
Sorry, getting into a whole kayak conversation, but looking at new kayaks.
It's fine. It's fine.
In my shop, they sell Jackson Hobie in Old Town, so I could have any of the 3 brands I want.
Oh, nice.
I mean, they don't give it to me. But
no, no shop really just gives it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. I'll let you get back. I don't want you to be late on your break, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
Be good.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode here on Paddle and Fin. Be sure to drop a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or smash that subscribe button on any platform you're listening in on. Be sure to check us out on Waypoint TV, waypointtv.com. Make sure you sign up for the Fantasy Kayak Fishing League at paddleandfin.com/fantasy. You can support this show through Patreon, patreon.com/paddleandfin. Don't forget to check out the website, paddleandfin.com. Catch us on YouTube. If you got a question, comment, or want to see a future guest on the show, be sure to email us at paddleandfin@gmail.com. Shout out to our show supporters, Yak Gadget. You can check out all the fine kayak accessories at yakgadget.com. Pelican Professional. For all your cases, coolers, and lighting needs, go to pelican.com. Rocktown Adventures, your Midwest premier paddle sports destination. Go to rocktownadventures.com. Eastport Marina, the beautiful destination on Dale Hollow Lake. If you're looking for lodging, kayaks, kayak accessories, or anything fishing related on the beautiful Dale Hollow Lake, go to eastport.info. And Jigmasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com and fill your tackle boxes today.